Okay, let's move on from United. Let's move on from football talk because it's fucking depressing me and I just don't give a fuck anymore. Let's talk about some other shit. So, big up Leomie Anderson. Big up Leomie Anderson. You know how much of a big fan I am of her. Probably one of the first big time, I think, black supermodels to come out of fashion for a while, especially post Naomi Campbell, especially here in England, especially someone from Ends as well. So it's really cool to see her up, to see her fucking, how she's kind of risen up the ranks. If I'm not mistaken, I think I might have known or heard of Leomie Anderson, or maybe the world did. I think she was on a TV show. I don't know which one though, but if I get in my head, I think I kind of have from afar seen her grow up in real time. I think it's on from TV. I think it was some sort of TV competition she was part of. I don't know which one it is. Maybe it was a modeling show or something. But since then, she's become like a legit model. She does a bunch of stuff on the runway. She's got her own brand as well, and she's fucking bossing it and killing it. So big up Leomie Anderson. But she's been running into a spot of bother recently because of these comments that she made on social media that says as follows. She posted this on Twitter. I want people to stop idolizing celebrity relationships this year because there's one house of cards that when it falls this year will have the community shook. I can see it happening already, and I saw that shit with my own eyes and was disgusted. I repeat, I want people to stop idolizing celebrity relationships this year because there's one house of cards that when it falls this year will have the community shook. I can see it happening already, and I saw that shit with my own eyes and was disgusted. So she posted this on her timeline. I didn't really think much of it, to be fair. But then on social media and places like the Shade Borough, people were really upset that she posted it because people were saying that most likely she's talking about Dami in India. And people were basically saying that if you're not going to say names, but then you're going to put stuff like that out there and you're going to make people gossip and have, conjecture and rumors about what's going on in their relationship, it's kind of bad mind. But I'm here to defend her. Because I think she didn't put a name on it. She just said something else on her mind, which you're allowed to do on social media. And personally, I feel like either way, people are going to be watching and they're going to be glued to see what the developments are between Dami and India anyway. So even if this turns out to be not about them, people are going to still want to see what's going on because I feel like their entire relationship, it kind of feels like it's a mixture of them taking really cool pictures together, wearing amazing outfits and looking incredibly attractive. And it's also a mixture of them doing a ha ha he he look guys we're still together thing. I feel like that's been their entire relationship on social media. People thinking they're broken up, them proving they're not by licking each other's tongues, and them being dressed really well. So it's been a constant thing around their relationship. So let's not act like what this girl's saying is that crazy. It's not that crazy because most motherfuckers out there have a weird parasocial link with them anyway, and some people, I don't know, are like rooting for them to fail to make them happy. I don't know what's going on, but I feel like there's weird people out there that kind of don't want them to be together, want them to see them broken up and stuff and whatever. I don't know what's going on there. Or maybe some girls feel like Dami, to India deserves somebody better. Maybe some girls think they should be with Dami. I don't know what's going on there. I could not try to understand what people are thinking, but from what I've been able to see observing from the outside in, I can definitely have a feeling that people have been rooting for them to break up in some ways for the longest. And I feel like they play into it a little bit by proving everybody wrong, by always stepping out looking glamorous and shit. So this is not something crazy to think of. But in isolation, I think she's right. I think people should stop idolizing celebrity relationships anyway. The way people kind of like think celebrity relationships kind of are a reflection of themselves anyway has always perturbed and disturbed me. I think there's way more merit in being interested in just what in people's relationship anyway from the outside in, as opposed to you projecting yourself onto their relationship, wanting to know what people get up to behind closed doors, or trying to decipher what this means and that means, and what the no ring means, what the wearing this sock means, what, oh, she went to that shop, oh, she went to this club, she got this dress on. That's one thing, fair enough. It's still loser shit, but fair, run with your thing. But projecting yourself onto someone's relationship and acting as if like someone else being in love is also like you being in love is so bizarre, so weird, so demented, so mentally ill that it really does beg a belief that people do that sort of thing. It's really strange. So the fact that people are getting their knickers in a twist about this and they're really getting emotional and they're essentially trying to badmouth and attack Leomie for sharing this, even though she didn't put anybody's names out there, is pretty frightening. I'm not gonna lie. it is pretty fucking frightening that people are getting that offended. Like, oh my god, you're gonna be splitting up my people, my favorite cups out, bro. Who gives a fuck? If they stay together, you're gonna be locked in. If they split up, you're gonna be locked in. It doesn't matter either way. It doesn't affect you either way. It's all part of the entertainment. If she's adding to it by adding a little fire, you know, into it, by lighting off another matchstick, by lighting off another firework, by putting a little notch on the fucking timeline of it, by adding another page in the story, let her fucking run. It's really not that deep. But then she followed up with that comment by saying the following, which is really funny. She followed up that tweet with this, saying, people are asking if it's people who I'm friends with or worked closely with. LMAO, are you lot alright? Why the hell would I tweet about my friend's relationship in such a manner? I love you, I love you, Leomie, but the question is, why would you post about anybody's relationship in this manner? You know, that's the real question. Why would you post about anybody's relationship in this manner? That's the real question. But in true Leomie Anderson defense squad, I'ma say, yes, it is pretty dumb for people to suggest or people to think that you're talking about your own friends. That would be pretty bad mind. Even though people do this anyway behind closed doors, in secret, away from social media. People do talk badly about each other's relationships to their friends anyway, or behind their backs, you know, or try to guess or bet how long a swing is gonna last. People do it all the time. People love that sort of shit, especially women, I'd imagine. I know dudes do it, so if dudes do it, for sure women do it too. So this is not surprising to me. But a little kickback I'd say to Leomie would be this. The comments that she left on the Shade Borough, I'm not too sure that I can defend that. I'm not sure I can defend that, to be honest. So the Shade Borough posted the tweets that I talked about there. And then she posted the following in the comments in reply. My work, my events, my editorials, you won't post. But my tweets you will. It's getting really boring. Yawn. I don't know what she expected. This page is called the Shade Borough. It's not called the marketing borough, the branding borough, the entrepreneurial borough, the media borough, the business borough, the startup borough. It's called the Shade Borough. All they post on there is mess and gossip. What do you expect them to do? Of course, they're not going to cover all your work and your events and your editorials because that's not of benefit to the page. The page is about mess. So when you break up with Lancey, or you get back with him, or you go out with somebody else, or you've got a ring on your finger, or there's some mysterious shadow in the background of one of your pics, or you say something on the live that maybe, you know, could be interpreted as shade to somebody else, or you put out a tweet that sounds like it could be directed at other people. Of course, they're going to cover that because that's what this page does. So I think this is kind of a common thing that's happening nowadays with people, I feel like, on social. They have this ability to like say something that's a bit edgy, say something that's a bit hot button, say something that's a bit controversial, but then get surprised when people cover it or highlight what they've said. Oh, I can't believe now you're talking about me. It's like, yeah, because you said something, you said a hot take about a very, you know, weirdly beloved couple within this space. Because I think the Dami in India are kind of like how, I wouldn't say Tyson Fury is like a Dami, but you know, they're kind of similar in the black community here in the UK, at least anyway. People really kind of, you know, are interested in what they get up to and how they kind of, you know, work their love or whatever it is. So you knew what kind of, you know, I wouldn't say she knew what she was doing, but, you know, as soon as you saw the response, you should have been, you know, understanding of why people would say that. And then you wouldn't have left this comment here in the comments. I think that's a little bit, you know. Then she follows up that comment with another comment that says, why do I need to state names when the whole point is that people shouldn't feel connected to people's relationships that they don't know? That's the focus of what I was saying. I even said, why would I be taken about my friends in that way too, but you never included it. Again, she's being purposely misleading here. No, you didn't actually say that though, did you, Leomie? I love you, but you didn't actually say that. You didn't actually say that. Because you could have just ended it and say, I want people to stop idolizing celebrity relationships this year. But no, you said because there's one house of cards that when it falls this year will have the community shook. So this extra bit at the end is the problem-ish kind of. I don't think none of it's a problem because I'm for mess, I'm for the drama, I'm for the chaos. So say whatever the fuck you want. But the reason why people are, I would say, somewhat upset is everything that comes after because. You could just say, I want people to stop idolizing celebrity relationship this year. Cool. That's one of your ins. Sorry, that's one of your outs for 2025. That's perfectly fine. But the extra bit is what people are, you know, trying to interpret in a certain way, or that's basically left up to interpretation. But if you just would have ended it here with a full stop right there at the end of year, punto, boop, I think no one's got a problem. No one can say anything. No one could try to twist your words and try to imbue something else or blah, 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 blah. That's basically it. But in the world that we live in now, part of the fun of doing these hot takes is that you say a hot take, or you say something, and then it becomes a hot take. You then feign ignorance as to why it's a hot take, and then you try and gaslight people into making them believe that they're the problem. When if you never said nothing, no one would have said anything either. You know, I love that in media. That's what I love. I love the gaslighting of people who interpret what you say the way you say it, and then you make it seem like you didn't say it that way, and like make them want to scratch their head and shit. I think that's absolutely incredible. But I also think a part of me thinks, like, you know, having watched Leomie Anderson's career from afar and seeing the relationship kind of break down with Lancey and stuff, and it seems like she's not really publicly dating anyone now at the moment, it seems, and he's very public with this new DJ girl. Maybe this is also projection in a way. Maybe it's somewhat projection, which is understandable too. You know, you're kind of still not over what happened previously. Maybe you're finding it hard to find somebody else, which I doubt, because, you know, she's a beautiful girl and stuff. But maybe it's projection. Maybe it's a little bit of that coming in. Like, oh, if I can't be happy, no one's going to be happy. Which is understandable too. I love that kind of part of chaos, you know what I mean? So when you see somebody else that kind of reminds you of how you were with your guy, it's like, fuck off. And then when you see a chink in the armor, you go on social media and you're like, oh, right, well, I'm going to let people know. Oh, you thought everything was perfect, right? You thought I was the only one suffering from heartbreak. Well, guess what? Your favorite couple, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? So maybe that's part of what's going on there. I don't know. Who knows? Either way, let's see how it plays out. Let's see how it plays out.